This story has been eliciting a lot of reactions, especially online. Mixed reactions at that. Share your views on the media shutdown with us. You can text us. Our studio line, as always, 22155. You can tweet us at Ben_Kitili, at KTN News, and at KTN Kenya. The hashtag to use on Twitter is KTN Prime. Tell us what you think about the media shutdown by the government. Also, High Court Judge Luka Kimaru has directed Inspector General of Police Joseph Boynet and the Director of Criminal Investigations George Kinoti to appear before him Tuesday 9 a.m. and present NRM member Miguna in court. The judge ruled that the two were in contempt of court, having declined to release Miguna despite a court order. All right, let's very quickly take a look at the previous altercations between the executive arm of government and the judiciary in terms of contempt of court cases. In 2018, early this year, there was a case against the Kenya government over the closure. Of course, this is what's going on at the moment against the government over the closure of the 4 TV stations, a case filed earlier today by activist Okia Omtata. We are keeping an eye on that. 2 of the stations, as you know, have been reopened, Citizen TV and Inoro TV, still off air. In 2017, there was a case against the Kenyan government over IDP resettlement in the county of Nakuru, where 200 IDPs asked to be enjoined in a case of their resettlement in a 750-hectare piece of land in Subukia, which the state had purchased, and it was supposed to be for their resettlement. So that was another very important contempt of court case against the state. And of course, those are some of the contempt of court cases that we have been able to look at. A lot has been happening when we were off air. Yusuf Ibrahim is here to bring us up to speed at a glance. Yusuf, good evening.
And thank you very much. Of course, it has been a very trying moment for the media industry in this country. Remember, the 3 media stations, the television stations that were shut down collectively command more than 2/3 of the entire television viewership in Kenya. So many of our viewers have lost a lot as far as information is concerned. Now, in the week that we have been off, the political standoff in the country has taken twists and turns. Let's now bring you up to speed with what you might have missed out on. Now, our signals were clipped last Tuesday, just as NASA's mock swearing-in ceremony was kicking off at Uhuru Park grounds right in the capital, Nairobi. Now, on the same day, President Uhuru Kenyatta staged a show of might at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as he returned from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. What should have been a routine arrival was turned into a big event, complete with a military guard of honor and a battalion of senior government officials, including the Deputy President and Chief of Defense Forces. Now, the following day, on Wednesday, that is 31st of January, government began its clampdown on Raila Odinga's generals. It kicked off with a cry for help from his deputy, Kalonzo Musyoka, who claimed a grenade was hurled into his compound. Shortly after that, Ruaraka Member of Parliament, TJ Kajwang, was arrested and accused of administering an illegal oath. He was taken by flying squad officers and taken to Nairobi's DCIO. Now, the next day, on the 1st of February, NASA got a reprieve as TJ Kajwang was released on a 50,000 shilling bond. Pressure against the Kenyan government was mounting as the international community criticized its move to deny Kenyans access to information. Activist Okia Omtata added fuel to the fire, filing a case against government at the High Court, arguing that the media shutdown was a violation of Article 33 and 34 of the Constitution. Now, the High Court issued a court order demanding the government suspend the media shutdown. On Friday, 2nd February, things took a nosedive. The government ignored the court's direction on media shutdown. NRM's self-proclaimed General Miguna was arrested in what appeared to be a dramatic showdown at his Runda home. High Court Judge James Wakiaga ordered Miguna's release on a 50,000 shilling bond. However, police ignored the court order and is yet to present Miguna in court or allow his lawyers to see him. Meanwhile, the political class squeezed in some time to meet a at a high-profile burial during the Requiem Mass of the late Yvonne Wamalwa. Raila Odinga shared the podium with Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa At the burial ceremony, Deputy President William Ruto reprimanded NASA leaders. Now, this entire time, State House remained unfazed by the calls to switch the top 3 TV stations back on. Now, the process of vetting Kenyatta's next cabinet went into the next phase, with 9 nominees set to be grilled by Parliament this Thursday and Friday. In the meantime, lawyer Nelson Harvey lost his petition to be allowed to contest for LSK presidency on experiential grounds. And just in case you missed this, new fares for the Nairobi-Mombasa SGR ride were announced. Now, this April, a ticket will now retail at 1,200 shillings, while patrons riding the first-class coaches will pay 5,100 for a ticket. I believe now you're up to date on what has been happening for the last 7 days. And Ben, before I return it back to you, tonight on Bottom Line Africa, we have our guest ready, and they're going to discuss, the state of the nation. And we've divided our conversation into 3 portions: the political anxiety, of course, the political temperatures in this country, the crackdown on dissent, of course, following the arrest of some of the NASA